Hi everybody, this is Tana with Proverbial Homemaker, and today we are doing a fun little review about the Homegrown Preschoolers products, a year of playing skillfully and a summer of playing skillfully. So you may know this or you may not, but I am a homeschool mom of 6. My youngest is in preschool, he's 4 years old, and my oldest is going to be going into 8th grade. So I have a bit of a spread. I've been doing this for a while and we have been enjoying it. And over the years, our preschool has kind of taken a very relaxed approach. We, just send them out in the backyard to roll around and play in the mud and play with sticks and play with their friends and, their siblings are their friends. And, just to enjoy nature and life at home. And for the most part, that is, a wonderful, beautiful way of doing preschool. I really don't feel like kids need anything more than play and exploration and time with their siblings and their parents to learn and grow until about 1st grade. And so that's what we've been doing. But this past year, I was kind of thinking back on those earlier years of homeschooling and how much fun we had when my oldest kids were just littles, and we would do fun crafts and activities and playtime, and we still do a little bit of that here and there, but I was just kind of missing some of the wonder and play where we could all do those activities together. And so I decided that this year we would go find a fun preschool curriculum that was really more play-based, not so much worksheets or, teaching them their letters even necessarily. That wasn't really the goal. It was just to enjoy each other. And I needed something, I could go scour the internet and scour Pinterest and put that together myself, but I don't have time for that. I am a busy homeschool mom. I am not the most creative mom. I get easily overwhelmed with too many things going on, too many options to pick from. So I really wanted something where everything was pulled together for me and I could just pick and choose from a curated sort of bundle of wonderful activities. So I started thinking about that and asking around and looking and asking in our Homeschool Successfully group on Facebook and asking some other large family mama friends of mine. And the recommendation that kept popping up was the Homegrown Preschooler and to look at their resources. So I did, and we went ahead and started that. We actually started it in the summer. And so they have, I'll show you inside of each of these and some pictures of how we use them. But they have a summer of playing skillfully right here, and they ship you the packs of the papers and the cover and everything, and then you put it in your own binder. And here's what we've been using this year, a year of playing skillfully. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our experience using them and show you inside and leave you links. We really had a very good time with this curriculum. I don't even want to call it, I almost hesitate calling it a curriculum. It's more like an inspiration for our homeschool year. It was so much fun. All the kids of all ages, even my 8th grader or my 7th grader right now, enjoyed it. So it was really a fun family experience. It's a very light and developmentally appropriate approach to preschool, so it's not heavy on academics. It more weaves in those early learning experiences with fun activities that you can do as a family. And the way it's organized is it is a monthly theme with different activities for language and literacy, math and manipulative, science, sensory activities, art, music, emotional and social learning, life skills, all sorts of things. All of these activity ideas sort of bundled around a certain theme each month, and they give you literature ideas to pull in and even helps for you as a mama to, books that you can read that will help you as you're on this journey of parenting these little ones and homeschooling them. So it curates all of these into this list, and it gives you this beautiful buffet of activities to pick and choose from. So it's not so much that you get lost in choosing and you don't know what to do, but it's enough that you can do it again and again throughout the years. So you could easily, especially if you have a lot of kids, you could easily do this every year for several years, or do it one year and then pick it up in a few years when you have another little preschooler in your midst. And the age range is for 3 through 7. So right now we have a 4 and I think he just turned, how old is he? I think he's 6 now. I think a 3 and a 6-year-old, so we could do this for another couple of years, and there's enough activities in there that we could easily, do all new things each time. The whole goal is to pick the things that work for you right then, not to do everything in the list. So it was a lot of fun for us. It also included a scripture verse to go with each month, which I really appreciated. And like I said, all the kids really enjoyed doing it. And you guys will get to see some photos in this video of our family enjoying the different activities. So the way it would work is each month I probably, at first I tend to I'm not a very good planner. I don't like planning. I just don't like doing it. Fortunately, this was easy to do, in one afternoon, just for an hour or so. I could open to what the next month was going to be. I would skim through the pages, which were beautiful. I have to say, content is really important, but how it's presented is also important. And something I've learned over the years is that I really enjoy curriculum that is beautiful and easy to use. And it adds to my experience as a homeschool mom. I know that seems like a small thing, but I enjoyed it a lot. It made our preschool activities and just, the act of pulling it out and planning it was less burdensome, and it was just enjoyable. So I would pull it out and I would skim through the month, look at the pictures, kind of skim through the different descriptions of all the activities. And then I would go to the monthly checklist that they provided, and I would just mark off the things with a dry erase pen. I would mark off the things that I wanted to do that month. And as I'm doing that on my phone in the Notes app, I would just make some notes about the things that I needed to collect or find. I tend to stick with the activities that I know are easily adaptable with the things that we already have, and with, our current activities and routines. I don't want to make things too complicated. So there were some activities that were more involved, but there were plenty of activities that were pretty simple and straightforward, and you could easily adapt if needed to use just what you have on hand. So I really appreciated that. So I would make a list of the things, every once in a while I would come across an activity where I really wanted to do it, but I didn't have the materials I needed. So I'd see if I could find the materials cheaply at a local store, on Amazon, or on a Buy Nothing group in our local area in Facebook, or something like that. Most of the time I was easily able to find what I needed. And so I would make those lists, check off the things I wanted to do, make those lists, and I would just put that in the binder. And so throughout the month, we would just pick and choose the things that we wanted to do. And there were a couple different ways that we tried this because, like I said, we were a busy homeschool family, and, I wanted to be able to make sure we made time for these activities, because that's always a danger when you have a lot of things going on where things just fall through the cracks and you don't do them. So the two easiest ways that worked for us were, one was setting aside one day a week, where we just did our preschool activities with our, little preschooler, and we enjoyed them as a family. And our homeschool, our academic week is a 4-day week. And then on the 5th day of the week, it's a lighter school day. We do games and activities together. We do commission chores where our kids can earn money for chores that day. We catch up on things. It's just more of a fun day. It's still homeschooling, but it's more like life skills and fun activities. So that was a perfect day to bring in our homegrown preschooler activities. So we did that a lot. There was a little time during the year where it was easier to put it in our loop schedule. So, you guys can see, or I guess it's over here, you guys can see that my kids each have a loop schedule, and I have one similar to that. And so I would just put that on the loop schedule. I'd put, homegrown preschooler activities. And then when I got to that item on the list, I would just open up the binder and see what looked fun, and we would do that. So it doesn't have to be super regimented or strict. You can make it as regular and consistent, or as sporadic and spontaneous as you want. As long as you have the activities on hand, or the materials on hand, you can really do a lot. And the other thing I recommend is joining their Facebook group. So if you purchase the curriculum, and you can have access to their Facebook group. And that was super helpful for me, because although the pictures are beautiful and I really appreciated them, and I liked that part of the curriculum, being able to see all of the things, I also appreciate being able to see how real life mamas have adapted it to their needs, to see what works and what doesn't, to be able to tweak it to what works for us. So joining the Facebook group was helpful for that. I would just search for whatever activity it was, and it would give me different ideas on how to, expand it for more kids or adapt it for different materials or whatever it was. And then the other thing is, in that Facebook group, they have lots of stuff in the files that isn't necessarily available in the curriculum. It's just an extension. So for example, they had these beautiful scripture art prints that were available for you to download that go along with the scripture that is in their curriculum. Because like I said, they have a monthly scripture verse that you can memorize as a family. And we did that as a family. Even though my older kids, we have a different scripture memory rotation. My littlest one, he learned all of those scriptures and just had a really good time. And it was so sweet to hear him recite them. And it was just a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend adapting it. As always, adapt it to fit your needs. I love buffet style curriculum like this, where you get lots of options and you can adjust it and adapt it to your needs. But there's always a possibility that will cause overwhelm, especially with new homeschool mamas. So my reminder to you and my encouragement is that when you pick up Homegrown Preschoolers to start using it, remember, it doesn't have to look exactly like the pictures. It doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect. You don't have to do everything in there. In fact, please don't. Don't try to do everything in there. Remember, you'll be able to come back to it the next year or the year after. I even have a friend who is planning on saving hers as a keepsake, saving her binder with all of her activities from the Homegrown Preschooler, like saving the actual curriculum as a keepsake for her children. So it is just, it was really fun. We really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you are the kind of mama who just really wants to have a preschool experience with your kids that is play-based, that's developmentally appropriate, that is full of wonder and delight and fun activities you can do together, then definitely check it out. And if you are a mama like me who's has been homeschooling for a long time, and you have a large family and you're like, I just want to pull some of that back in, pull some of that wonder and activity in without too much work or thought on my part, then I also recommend it. So let me know if you guys have any questions about it. I will leave you links so you can go check it out. And I hope you have a fantastic time with your precious preschoolers.